Hey landlords, I have a very important message for all landlords across Ontario, and I felt that it was necessary to do this video just because I have so many landlords contacting myself and my team every single week and telling us that they have made errors on their forms, on their notices of terminations, that they have made errors on these forms. And it's just incredible that so many landlords are having the exact same problem, and it's been going on for months. I have received so many calls from landlords with these errors. So I want to talk about that. My name's J Rouillard. I am the founder of Ontario Landlord Help Group. We have just over 26,500 members at the time of this video. I'm also a real estate broker and I'm a landlord coach. So errors on these forms. Landlords, we have to stop doing these errors in these forms. These forms, they appear like they're really easy to do. Okay, we look at them and say, okay, well, we can fill them out nice and easily, no issues. But honestly, they're a little bit more complicating than that. Unless you do it every single day and it is your business to do these forms on a regular basis, or you're a seasoned landlord and you know how to do them because you've done them so many times. But honestly, landlords, your N4 forms are very, very basic. You need to make sure you do them properly. They have to be accurate every single time. You cannot make mistakes on these forms. So it's costing landlords more money by making errors in these forms, and then they get a hearing date. They've already done the application, the L1, they paid for the filing fee, and then they get a hearing date, and then they realize, oh wow, I made a mistake. So we need to stop this. There's too many mistakes happening. And not just the N4 form, on all the other forms. So even like N5s. N5s, they're a little bit more complicating, but they're not very difficult to do, but they are difficult enough to do if you don't do it every single day, and it's so easy to make these mistakes. But some of these mistakes are just very simple mistakes, okay? So that's the point of this video, is there's too many errors happening. And honestly, if you're a landlord and you've done a mistake on any of these forms, you know what I'm talking about, because you have to spend so much money and so much time after you realize the error. Quite honestly, just last week alone, I think I had 3 landlords contact me and say they have hearing dates in the next 2 weeks, and they just realized that they have an error, and they're asking me about the error and if it's going to be a critical error or not. And not only that, I've had a couple other landlords just this week alone, not this week, but last week, contact me and say that their case got dismissed at the hearing because they have a critical error. So literally in the last week, I've had 5 landlords that had contacted me for that. So landlords, here's the thing, is that if you don't know these forms, you have to find somebody who can help you with them. Find yourself a paralegal that you're in line with, and that they're able to even just at least proof your form. Many paralegals don't offer that service, but if you can find a paralegal, I know one, and you can contact them. They're Landlord Pro Legal. Their contacts are going to be in the description of this video, and they will kindly proof your forms if you want to do them yourselves, and it's just a little fee. But I'll have the information in the description. You can take a look at it there. But even if it's not Landlord Pro Legal, if it's another paralegal, it doesn't matter. You just have to have these forms done properly. And, it's costing you way too much money by doing them the wrong way. Because if you make an error on your N4, you got to redo the entire process right from the beginning. And if your tenant's not paying rent, then you're going to go many more months without tenants paying you rent. So quite literally, to have a paralegal to do your N4 form for you, I think they do it for maybe $100 or $200, something along those lines. At least I know Landlord Pro Legal does it at those rates. You can contact them and get a quote from them. But quite literally, a couple $100, landlords, to get these forms done right, it's going to change everything within this industry. And, one of the reasons, not the reason, but one of the reasons why there's so much backlog with landlord and tenant board is because of these errors on these forms. And it's the absolute truth, because landlords are making these errors when the business should be streamlined. If there was no errors, or a very, very minimal amount of errors, then there could be more hearings done and not, go to a hearing, gets dismissed. We waste one case in a day that spends too much time where other cases get adjourned, and next thing you know, it just keeps overlapping, and then, you know, the system is completely boggled down. So landlords, if we start managing our business a little bit differently, and we are handling these N4s in real time, or we're not waiting for weeks and sometimes even months, we need to handle this business all in real time. And if we start handling this business all in real time, we'll find that these backlogs are going to start slowing down a little bit. And if these errors stop, we're going to find that these backlogs are definitely slowing down. So listen, let's get these forms done right. It's costing you landlords way too much money because you're losing all of this time and the rents that you should be collecting. So landlords, find a paralegal that you're in tune with, that you're in line with, one that will pick up their phone when you need a question, and one that will reply to you in an email or a text message that's right there at your fingertips. Find that paralegal and connect with them, and make sure that when you have a problem or you have a scenario that you need help with, that you're able to get in contact with them and they respond back to you in real time. So very important, landlords. I literally had to take a moment to do this video just because it's incredible with how many landlords are making errors on these forms. So I am hoping that I at least helped some landlords with this video, because next time you go and write that N4 or N5 or N8 or N12 or N13 or any of these forms, you know, you have to make sure there are no errors because you're wasting so much time. Okay, thanks again, landlords. And my name is Paul J Rouillard, founder of Ontario Landlord Help Group. I am a real estate broker. I am a landlord coach. I deal with all kinds of different investment business. I even do my own fix and flips. I do my own real estate. So, you know, I'm in this business. I know every single scenario that's within this business. I've literally been almost in every imaginable scenario you can even possibly think about. I've been in it. Literally, you know, I have all kinds of different advice that paralegals can't even offer you, because I offer a different kind of advice. I offer the real advice, the advice from the investor, from the landlord, where, you know, paralegals can't tell you this kind of advice. And not only that, they're not really knowledgeable in this kind of advice. And, you know, I urge you that next time you talk to a paralegal, if you want the real advice, ask your paralegal if they are an investor themselves. Ask them if they are a landlord themselves. Ask them if they even own their own property and have their own mortgage. And I can bet you that, you know, you're probably going to be hitting maybe 95% of them don't. And I know this because I have interviewed hundreds of paralegals all throughout Ontario, and quite literally it was the same issue across the board in finding paralegals that really know this business and know it true, you know, in and out. You know, many paralegals are great talkers. They can talk. But when it comes down to execution and handling these files and these situations and these scenarios, a lot of them did not know how to handle these situations. They had no clue. And I did hundreds and hundreds of interviews with paralegals, and I could not believe that so many of them just had no clue. But they were great talkers. They could talk about the forms. They can tell you all about the N4 form, the N7 form, all of these forms. They can tell you all about them, but then give them a real life scenario and they're just kind of going back and forth with the situation. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to stop right there, landlords. The point of this video is to stop making errors on these forms. It's so very important to do them right. Make no errors. Find somebody who can help you do these forms. All right, landlords, like I always say, happy landlording.